I'm Msgr Bill Parent, and this is the third Friday of Advent 2020. This is the last of three brief video reflections on Fridays this Advent around the theme, Come Home for Christmas. Today, let's consider coming home for Christmas presently. By presently, I mean Christmas presents, not presents as that ends in TS, as in the gifts we give around Christmas, but rather presents ending in CE, as in being present. Christmas is the season that, above all else, celebrates God's presence. It's the season of Emmanuel, the prophetic name that we hear at this time of year that literally means God is with us. In Christmas, we celebrate our Christian belief that God is indeed with us, not with us in some abstract way where God's power is occasionally manifested in our world. No, God's presence is real, personal, part of our world, something that we can see and touch and at least partially comprehend. In Christmas, we celebrate our belief that God is present because he was born of a mother, walked among us as a man, and is manifested by the church, instituted by Jesus to continue his mission of presence to the world. The curse of this year of COVID has helped me appreciate the blessings of presence. For months, we were prevented from being present to each other in our worship. Even when we resumed our public worship, many of you have not been present for very good reasons. COVID and the restrictions have helped me appreciate that presence requires courage, because presence always involves risk. We don't usually think about this risk when we come to church, and when we do focus on it, we tend to focus only on one aspect of it at a time, whether it's 2 feet of new snow on the ground outside or last year's fear of shooters in houses of worship. Yet the truth is that to be present to someone is to bear some level of risk, to endanger ourselves in some way. And so presence requires courage. The presence of God that we celebrate in Christmas reveals the way that presence and risk and courage are inseparably intertwined. To be present to us, Jesus accepted the risk of becoming human, including the risk of dying on the cross. Such risk requires great courage. And Jesus calls us to be present to him and to each other by accepting the risk of our own crosses and following him. That too takes courage. The mere fact of presence is a courageous gift that we give to God and to each other. I have never appreciated this inherent blessing of presence as much as I have this year. So please come home for Christmas, which officially arrives this year on December 24th at 2 p.m. And as I've outlined on these 3 Fridays of Advent, please come home for Christmas safely, repentantly, and presently. Until we are present to each other next, happy Advent, and may you and your loved ones have a merry and holy Christmas.